Today we are going to talk about authentic assessment in the classroom. First is the high-quality assessment in retrospect. High-quality assessment in retrospect is balanced to provide education with continuous feedback on the student's progress. It is designed to be relevant, promote growth, and improve instruction. Also, it provides second chances to the students. Next is the authentic assessment. Authentic assessment is a form of assessment that evaluates whether the students can transfer the knowledge and skills they learn in the classroom to perform in a real-world task in various contexts. It also gives the students opportunities for them to engage in authentic tasks, for them to develop their knowledge, higher-order thinking skills, and their 21st century competencies. So why use authentic assessment? Authentic assessment gives the students the chance not only to know the content, but also to perform the knowledge they acquired in a meaningful way. It enables direct evidence of the acquisition of skills through demonstration and application. Also, it focuses more on what really matters. It provides validity, encourages significant and deep learning, and uses teachers' time efficiently.
What is performance assessment? According to Furman 2005, performance assessment is an assessment that moves away from the traditional paper and pencil test. It involves the demonstration and application of knowledge, skills, and work habits through what is known to be as a performance task. Now, why should we use performance assessment? It is because this assessment measures how well students apply their knowledge, skills, and abilities to authentic problems. The nature of the performance assessment are the following. It can judge appropriateness of behavior or understanding. It processes the creative aspect of the students in bringing out what they know and what they can do through different performance tasks. It answers the questions, how well can you use what you know? It can also be used as either a formative or assessment tool. Now, for the purpose of the performance assessment, it can provide an effective means of measuring abilities that are difficult or impossible to measure with multiple choice tests, such as ability to communicate, solve problems, and employ critical thinking skills. Now, there are two types of performance assessments. The first one is the process-based. The process-based concerns with the actual task performance rather than the output or product of the activity. The second one is the product-based, which is a kind of assessment wherein the assessor views and scores the final product made and not on the actual performance of making that product.
Good day everyone, this is Galindo speaking. Let us talk about developing performance tests. This is any learning activity or assessment that asks students to perform or to demonstrate their knowledge, understanding, and proficiency. So number 1, designing performance tasks. We must connect the task with the standard outcomes. The task should call for understanding and transfer of knowledge, should require extended thinking, establish authentic context, and include criteria or rubrics. Number 2, the GRABS model, or the goal, role, audience, situation, performance, and standard. We must be guided with this model because this engages students through contextualized learning, provides simulations of real-world situations or challenges, and create opportunities for students. Number 3, differentiating performance tasks for diverse learning. Differentiated instruction is one such technique that provides students with different avenues for acquiring and processing content. Number 4, scoring rubrics is an efficient tool that allows you to objectively measure students' performance on an assessment activity. There are two types, analytic rubrics and holistic rubrics. Analytic rubrics is a two-dimensional rubrics and has a components of criteria, level of performance, and descriptors. While in holistic rubrics, this is a one-dimensional rubrics and has a component of performance, level, and descriptors. Now let us talk about the 6 steps in developing a rubric. The first step is to determine your goal. The second step is choose a rubric type. The third step is to determine your criteria. The step 4 is to create your performance levels. The step 5 is to write descriptions for each level of your rubric, and the last step is to share your rubrics or the rubrics to the students.
Alright, so now for the authentic assessment of the affective domain, here are the important things to remember and what I have learned so far. The affective domain involves how we deal with things emotionally, such as feelings, values, motivation, interests, and attitudes. So the authentic assessment in the affective domain measures how students feel and perceive themselves while learning and how their learning experiences have an influence on their attitudes, opinions, behaviors, and social relationships. This provides an engaging and meaningful learning which helps them to reflect and apply what they have learned in different situations and make connections in the real world. Teachers can effectively use authentic assessment in assessing the affective domain by creating a comfortable learning environment that develops healthy self-concept and emotional development in moral development of the students. The assessment tools that can be used are student self-report, teacher observation of students' performances, and peer ratings. Moreover, it's important for teachers to remember that we must model the attitudes and behaviors that we would like our students to exhibit while interacting with others, because students constantly observe and scrutinize our actions. We must immediately correct behaviors that do not model appropriate values, and then establish good relationship and classroom procedures that support the effective learning and provide opportunities for them to develop as independent thinkers and self-reliant problem solvers.
Next is communicating authentic results. There could be several definitions when one talks about communication. But what is communication in the context of assessment? Communication in assessment refers to the manner by which the progress, performance, and information regarding students' learning are communicated by the teacher to the parents, students, and school administrators. But how can we communicate these results to them? Well, we can make use of any of the following. We have the most common one, the parent-teacher conference. Next is the written communication, and we also have digital communication, which is very common during this time of pandemic.
As educators, we need to set standardized measurements that will enable us to provide professional judgment on students' achievement and performance all throughout the course. And it is best to communicate these to parents and others, and even among the students for self-evaluation. From grading to reporting, and in between, there's a grading system that includes letter grades, percentage grades, verbal descriptor, checklist, and narrative reports. And these are all applied on different medium and situation. One of the things that we should remember as educators in the future is that a clear grading system can be a powerful tool in the effort to build a school culture of learning, connection, persistence, and excellence. And that will only be possible if teachers demonstrate to students that they are using grades to communicate strengths and weaknesses and to help also the students improve. That will bolster and strengthen the culture of learning in the building.
Assessment of one's teaching practice. And now let us talk about reflective practice using learners' test scores. So one way the teachers can monitor students' performance and achievement is through making the following. First, the daily lesson log. Second, the electronic class records, grade sheet, summary of quarterly grades, and progress chart.